Salut survivors! Welcome back to SolutOdka channel where we're diving into another eye-opening Civilization 7 guide. In this week's video, we are doing something a little bit different. Instead of focusing on a specific game mechanic, I'm sharing some key lessons I have learned along the way, things that I wish I had known from the start. These insights have shaped my gameplay, bringing both moments of frustration and pleasant surprises. Throughout my Civ 7 journey, I have encountered a mix of unexpected challenges and beneficial strategies that every player should be aware of. Some of these experiences may be related to game quirks or intended mechanics, but either way, they are crucial for enhancing your gameplay. Whether it's avoiding pitfalls or leveraging hidden advantages, this guide aims to help you enjoy the game even more and enhance your strategy. We'll kick things off with a oh no moment that had me shaking my head, right? It happens to everyone. I'm sure about that. And then we'll transition to the more positive discoveries that made a significant difference in my games. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more top tier Civ 7 content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest strategies and guides. Are you ready to level up your Civ 7 experience? Let's dive in, survivors! First things I wish I knew takes place in the Antiquity Age. In the Antiquity Age, you have different progression following different legacy paths, right? And in the culture, you can have either 0, 2, 4, or 7 wonders constructed. And the word constructed here is into place in that first lesson learned. In that game, I built one wonder, as you can see here, the Wei Yang Palace. And I conquered Athena, which had hanging gardens. And for me, I was thinking that then I had constructed 2 out of 4 wonders. Hence, I would obtain the first cultural legacy points and the attribute point for the next era. If I would fail to do so, then I would have this cultural Dark Age legacy option. And we are here at the turn 139, the last turn before going into the Exploration Age. And unfortunately, even if I had all planned to get 2 wonders by conquering the wonder from the Catherine here, and in fact, when I had this 1 wonder plus 2 wonders, well, I didn't get it. So even if it shows here that I have constructed 2 out of 4 wonders, I did not get the legacy point. Let me just show you briefly. Here the Antiquity Age comes to an end. The Exploration Age is about to start. And here we are. As you can see here, I have unlocked 3 Science Legacy points, 2 Military Legacy points, 2 Economical Legacy points, and I got 0 Cultural Legacy points. Okay, and we are here now at the first turn of the Exploration Age. As you can see, I even have the Cultural Dark Age possible legacy, which really confirmed that I had 0 cultural legacy points. And as a conclusion, it means that, unfortunately for me, I wish I had known that the wonders you conquer does not count as constructed, even if in the tooltip menu it was saying that I had constructed 2 out of 4 wonders. So please pay attention to it. I now very well knows about it. I'll share it with you now. So I hope it doesn't happen to you also. Let's move on to the next one. So one key second oh no moment is in the same playthrough a few turns before I conquered the Hanging Gardens. It's now. And at that moment, I had my army in a position to do the final blow on Catherine. This had been like a long grinding war, first for Knossos, and then pushing to Asenai. And basically, at that moment, what happened to me is I conquered the tile of the city center, of the palace of Athena, and I thought I would have conquered the town. And unfortunately, no, you need to conquer every single tile with fortifications, with ancient walls at that time in the game, or with medieval walls in the next era. So here in that case, that was not really a massive blow because I am totally overwhelming her at this moment in the war, at the end of the war. But there could have been another war in another situation where, you know, it's a bit tight and then you do everything you can to conquer the one city center. Well, it doesn't matter. You need to conquer every single tile with the walls. And here we are, as you can see here, a few turns later, where I have conquered every tile with the walls, and finally, Athena is mine, right? So you can wonder, does it make sense or not? I think on my end, I think it makes sense, right? I originally come from Europe, and they have these big medieval cities, and it kind of makes sense to not have to just conquer, let's say, the city hall, and to conquer the entire castle to claim it as yours. On the other hand, compared to the previous opus of the game, then, you know, you can say it's a bit different. But I like this change, but it was a bigger lesson for me on that one, and I wanted to share that one with you as well. Now let's move on another frustrating moment. This one took place during the Exploration Age. Good. So here we are during the Exploration Age, where I colonized one town on the western side of the sea, where I have 3 different resources for treasure fleets, and one town on the east side of the sea, where I have 2 different treasure fleet resources with cacao. And so I have 3 plus 2, 5, therefore I will get batches of 5 by 5 treasure fleets, right? And also I'll get easily 10, 20, and so on and so forth in order to grind through the economic legacy points. Really good, right? Except that in that town, in Kaem, I have this very small lake. And unfortunately, my damn treasure fleet has spawned inside the lake. And therefore, I cannot get out. I cannot get out with my treasure fleet. I should likely have not taken these tiles. Maybe I shouldn't have done the fishing quay inside the lake. Maybe many things, but I would have really much appreciated to not have a lake, or be able to have a canal, or have my treasure fleet spawn inside the city center, and from the city center then I would have been able to bring back the treasure fleet home. And I was not able to do that. So for me, I will be really careful in the future when settling towns in the distant lands due to the lakes. Be extremely careful with the lakes, or this can really totally fail your strategy for the treasure fleets. This one was really a total failure for me at that point in time in the game. Now let me know down in the comments below if you encountered some similar frustrating moments in your learnings, and now I'll move on to more the thing that I wish I knew more on the positive sides of the game. In that playthrough here, I discovered something about the game that made me really lucky, and I'd like to show you. Here, when you look at the continents, you have the possibility to build your museums and your universities in order to research where to dig sites during the modern age. And during that game, I did not do it on purpose. It just so happened that I actually built my museums on one continent, in Euro-America here, and I built my museum in North America. And that was really lucky that in Paris, there in my capital for the last age of that playthrough, then my explorers, they were able to go to dig or research to dig sites on one continent and on the other continent within the same city. So you need to pay really attention to this, because if you play for the cultural victory and you don't have either a university or a museum in a continent, then you will not be able to research and dig sites for that continent. So here Paris was a good lessons learned, and really lucky that time compared to the other ones. And on the opposite continent, I even went to build a city in order to just be able to do my research on the other continent. In that one is on the Congo Craton, or Craton, I'm not sure how you pronounce that one, but that was really a good luck, this one. Now, the next thing I wish I knew earlier in the game, and I want to make sure to share with you, is that during the exploration age, when you research cartography, you will be able to have all your civilian and support units to be able to enter the deep ocean terrain. So before you research that, then you cannot enter these tunnels, right? And let me show you what you can do when you reach that. So let's play 2-3 turns here quickly together, and I'll skip. Okay, so now at that moment I did finish the research on cartography, right? Meaning that my civilian units, like here I just got a scout, now this scout can go into these tiles, right? Into the open ocean tiles. These archer cannot go in the ocean tiles. It's only later on that he'll be able to do that. And what is really for me a bit surprising is that you, commander, can go in the ocean tiles. So yes, I know the commander is not a military unit. However, here he is with 2 chevaliers and 2 swordsmen, and he can go in the ocean tiles. Now, oh, that's a bummer. Well, there is this shipwreck. I wanted to show you at the same time as a bonus little learning that this shipwreck, when you take these shipwrecks, you heal. However, here we can see that our friend Friedrich will heal on that shipwreck, so I will not be able to show that one to you here, but then, you know it at the same time. Well, anyways, the key point here was that basically, with your army commander, with all his armies on his belly, can cross the deep ocean. And then, after having crossed it, then you can unload or deploy your army in the coastal tiles. And then you can have like these 4 units to discover this whole land really, really fast at the start of the exploration age. Let me know if you find it very useful, because here in that game I really use that trick. So on the east I have this one commander with 4 units, and on the west, where is he? And I have this commander ready to go. Bad timing on that case, yes. But so here this army commander can go on the west, this army commander can go on the east. Each of them have 4 units and be able to rapidly explore the distant lands, even if at that point in time normally you would not be able to go with units. Now we can guess maybe this will be fixed or changed in some patches, I don't know, but for now that's just really how it works. Next one is really a big difference between Civ 6 and Civ 7. Let me load and show you this other one. So in that playthrough here, I'm not really pushing a lot into culture. I just want to try as much as I can every time to just get the first level, to just get 1 cultural attribute point every single time, ideally. So I did not go massively into religion. I built 2, I think. Yes, I built 2 temples, one here, one there, in Chang'an and Guangling, and did 2 missionaries. However, Chang'an is of Shinto, my religion in this game. Guangling is of the religion of Xerxes, the Achaemenid. And I produced a missionary in Guangling, while Guangling is of the religion of Xerxes. And I was like really wondering, is it going to work or not? I mean, if you played Civilization 6 and you had a town or a city, for that matter, of a different religion, and you would produce a missionary, that missionary would follow the religion of that town at that point in time, and not necessarily your religion. While in Civ 7, it's different. As you can see here, this missionary, I mean, it's not written here actually, you don't know what his religion is, but it says when you spread, it's to spread, to convert this settlement population to your religion. And in fact, this is regardless that when he got produced or trained in a city, then if it was of your religion or not. This missionary is coming from Guangling, and he has crossed here through the lands down to here, and in fact he is not, I mean, he was not trained with my religion. And regardless, as we will try here, then Mediolanum has now a rural tile of Shinto. So this means that your missionaries can be produced in any of your cities, regardless of the religion of your city. And your missionaries will still be of your religion. And I think that's a very, very big game change compared to Civilization 6 in this new opus. Now you can wonder if it makes sense or not. You can think that the temple was built of my religion, right? Therefore it makes sense. Or you can think it doesn't make sense because then the city was a different religion at the time when he got trained in that city. I think both point of view are probably valid. We could debate on that, but that's just how it works now. So let's move on to the next one a few turns later. Okay, the next one is something about towns versus cities. I plan in the near future to have a more comprehensive study, comparison, and video guide on, in my opinion, when to convert a town into a city, and so on and so forth. But that's not the point here. It's some detailed mechanics that it's important to know how it works. So in my case, Chang'an is a city, Luoyang is a town, and then Hastings, or Hastinges, and I'm sure how you pronounce that, is going to become a farming town. Okay, boom. Then we say Hastings is now a farming town. And we will see that Hastings is producing plus 38 food, right? Now, let's move into the next turn just to make sure that there is no issue. You can see Luoyang is producing its food. It's a mining town in that case. And sending the food properly to Chang'an and Asena. Let's move to the next turn. Okay. Here we are at the next turn. So we can see Hastings is with this plus 48 food, right? And it's not providing the food. And this is because the connection from Hastings to a city is going through Luoyang. And at the moment how it works in the game, Luoyang is connected and therefore provides its food. But Hastings is not connected directly to a city and therefore does not provide its food. It had happened to me in the previous game also, but I thought it was because the city I had conquered was not connected because it was a conquered city. Here in this case, Hastings, I colonized it myself at the start of the exploration age here to fill up this land. So it's not because it was a conquest, it's because this town products or food supply is going through this town before going to this city and therefore does not provide it. But so what's important is that then, for example, from Asenai, if I have a merchant, I can then build a road to Hastings. Here you can see the road got built instantly. Anyway, the road is here. And then if you go in Hastings, now you look and boom, here it is. The food of Hastings is not wasted anymore. The food of Hastings is going to Asena. So I think it's extremely important because when you start to play the game, you are probably going to have some towns that are going to be set into a specialization, and in all good faith you believe that the food will be supplied to your cities. Well, pay attention to it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And if it's not, you need to consume a merchant to build a road from your town to your city from your city to your town, I should say, as you have seen in this example, to make sure that this way your food from your town specialization will not be wasted. And from there, let's move on. The last thing I wish I knew when I started to play. So here I wanted to show you a little other thing that I have learned that you really need to pay attention. Sometimes in my game I had some resources I was able to put in cities, not in cities, in town, not in towns, and sometimes here you can say here when you hover above a resource, it says here settlement is not connected to your empire's trade network. So this ivory coming from buyer, here in buyer I have two ivories. One is utilized by buyer itself, and one is available, or should be available, on my trade network. But it's not. It's not. As you can see, I cannot use it. So, what you need to do in that case is to build a fishing way. So, here we'll build this temple, build a fishing way to unlock, anyway, this really good tile when this town will become a city. And now, since I have a fishing quay, then from buyer, through the fishing quay, my resource will now be available. So this ivory from buyer, you don't have anymore this heads up that's not working. So for example here, let's put it, and I cannot put it now because I haven't unlocked a resource right now. So I believe it's pretty important, because then when you go and colonize some distant lands, well, you can be dead sure you need this fishing quay. And if you cannot utilize your resources because of that, well, just build your fishing quay. Okay, so I wanted to share with you these learnings. The game got released around 2 weeks ago now, and a lot of like positive learnings and a lot of frustrating moments, and I hope you can this way anticipate these issues that I have shown to you, or issues. They are not all issues, some are positive, right? But I believe it's important to also share these things. I'll move back now into video guides and more game mechanics deep dives next week. And for this week, I wanted to share with you these learnings after 2 weeks. On that note, let's toast to the like and subscribe buttons. I appreciate very much the support. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next videos. Cheers.